oldest banana planting. I don't know what you really call it, but this is my oldest banana patch that I have. These were planted in 2021, and these first 3 sets here were all planted in 2021. And then from there, I've just taken out the pups and planted them in other parts of the property. So I've spread them pretty much all around, but these really need to be trimmed back, in my opinion. I don't believe it's required to trim them back. It'll fruit normally, bananas fruit normally out in the wild, but it looks really overgrown, and because it's kind of crowded in here, a lot of the sunlight can't get through. So my goal for today is to go ahead and trim all these back to let sunlight in. It'll clean it up nicely, it'll look a lot nicer, and it'll provide organic material to put on the ground to decompose and then feed those banana plants again. I do have one sprinkler in here. It's an overhead sprinkler, and it basically just kind of hits the bottom 2 feet of a lot of these banana plants in here. I am considering though changing that to a dripper, because it appears that when these leaves get wet, sometimes they'll turn out like a little bit misshapen, or they'll have like weird spots on them, and I believe it's from the overhead irrigation. So I think I'm gonna convert that to a drip system over here. Really, it's just like 2 drip lines I can run through here. It's really buggy right now and really humid, and I've like coated myself in my homemade bug repellent, but it is very hot and sticky out here. So I'm gonna try to get this done pretty quickly. And I did want to walk through here just so you can kind of see a little bit more. It's kind of hard to see through there because of all of the plants and bananas. So I'll try to get through here so you can see what we're dealing with today. We've got lots of these bananas blooming, and we've got multiple blooms in one rack, which I do not recommend because it seems like it's using the limited resources to develop these bananas, and it really makes development slow. It seems to really slow it down. So I do not recommend this. Definitely clear some of these out. And when I do clear these out, I really just take out the pups, and you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace, or you can give them away to your friends and family, or basically anybody who really enjoys seeing your banana plants. Just offer them a pup. Who knows, you might get them started in gardening or bananas, and that would be something that would be really cool to say that you helped them get started. You can give them some advice on how to take care of them, and then they'll just take it over from here. So this is what we're working with, guys. This is really messy and really needs to be trimmed up. And I did mean to show you guys what I use while I'm doing this. I'm still a new YouTuber, so forgive me, I'll get better. So this is what I use. I use gloves. I didn't used to use gloves, but after being stung many times on the hand and sticking my hands in places that I can't really see that well, not a good idea. Don't do it. I've just decided I should really be working with gloves. All right, we're gonna use scissors. These cut some of the smaller little paper thin pieces better, these. We've also got this that I use. This will cut some of the ones that are low enough for me to get to that I don't want to use the pole saw for. And then of course, we'll be using the pole saw. This is just a standard extendable pole saw. It works really good for cutting back the leaves. All right, we'll get started. I'm gonna start by trimming this leaf here because it's really annoying. So I just start at the top and press down really well and saw it, and it comes right down. And then of course the leaves just get thrown at the base. Pretty simple. Very simple. And these need to be cleared out. As you can see, there's way too many pups. My husband does that. I don't usually do that because I'm not that strong, as you can tell. So I let my husband do that. He gets irritated by it, but he knows I can't do it, so there really is no other way to get it done without him doing it. And some of these are like super tall. So once they get pretty tall, I give up on trimming them if I can. But sometimes they leave hanging brown leaves that look really messy. This job would really be faster if there's two of me or two people, because one could cut and the other one could just pull the leaves down. But I usually end up doing this myself. Y'all, there's lots of bees out here. They love these banana flowers. So sometimes they get a little agitated if you're getting close. So we're going to go over here a little bit. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and finish these, and then I'll get back on and show you what it looks like when I'm all done, because it would be really boring if you watched me do this the whole time. All right, y'all, I brought you a little bit deeper back here because there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that you guys know how to trim these back using these other tools, not just the pole saw that I've been using. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that. And one thing you want to remember, don't throw these down on the ground because they will get hidden under some leaves and you'll never be able to find them. I can't tell you how many tools I've lost out here because I just threw them down somewhere and they got covered up by something else. Luckily, they do have an orange and a red handle, so that's helpful, but you don't want to be digging around thinking where you had them last and you can't find them. So this is what I'll show you. So here we are back here. Yeah, I think you guys can still see this. So using the orange handsaw, that's basically what you do. Super easy. Yeah, you guys should still be able to see me. Sometimes with the older leaves, the saw doesn't work that good. In that case, we'll use scissors. Hopefully y'all can see me still. I don't have any of those fancy tracking devices, so hopefully I'm still in frame and you can see what I'm doing here. Y'all, these scissors aren't the best. I recommend you having some better scissors, maybe more heavy duty. I just got these from the junk drawer inside and started using them out here, but they're not the best. I really need to get me some better scissors. Some heavy duty ones, maybe ones that are a little bit better suited to cutting plant material and not, you know, like construction paper. And some of these dead ones you can just pull off. Not all of them though, some of them stick. So that's where these scissors come in handy. And you probably can't see this anymore, but I'll keep going. All right, y'all, I had to move the camera. There wasn't much going on where I had you before. Y'all be careful with this thing. It is pretty sharp. It's, I think it's Fisker's brand. That orange, I believe, is Fisker's. But it is really sharp. If your hand is near here and you're cutting these things down with a lot of force, let's just say you don't want your hand nearby. I haven't cut myself yet, but there was a couple times where I thought to myself, well, that was pretty stupid. Why'd you do that? Because that could have been bad. And believe me, y'all don't want to injure yourself while you're out gardening. It just ruins your whole day and you can't get your project completed. And who wants to deal with that? Not me. And I believe these, well, I know these are all ice cream bananas I'm cutting, y'all, the variety. I do have other bananas back here that I planted a long time ago. These right here, I believe, are dwarf Cavendish. And they've never bloomed for us yet because it usually freezes here in zone 9B. But last year, we didn't have a freeze. And they really were able to flourish and not be knocked back by the cold weather. So hopefully I'll get some fruit off of these. I've never had fruit off of them, and they've been here probably, I don't know, maybe 3 years. And they really need to be cut up too. Cut back, really. It's like really dark back here. Let's cut back a few of these. Hopefully you can still see me. It is really dark back here. Shady, I mean. And I really just need to get some of this sunlight through. All right, that's pretty good. I'll work on this bunch right here. which I believe is dwarf Cavendish. I believe. I should have marked them, which I didn't. So if you get bananas, y'all, mark what they are, or put it in a book somewhere, what you planted and where, for reference, because I'm just guessing on these. They look like dwarf Cavendish, and dwarf Cavendish I know does not like the cold, so of course they were knocked back every year, slowed them down tremendously. So that's what I believe that they are. I also have Truly Tiny variety, which is another dwarf banana, but the Truly Tiny doesn't get this big. So that's why I believe this could be dwarf Cavendish. There we go. Pretty good. Not terrific, but it'll work. All right, y'all, so here we are at the last bunch that I'm working on today. This is the final one that needs to be cleared out, so I'm gonna clear this one out so you can kind of see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and take this leaf off because it's in the way. Okay, y'all. Sometimes bees will hang out and wasps right here when this flower opens and get the blooms that are there. I'm sure they're sweet because the bees really like them, so you got to watch out if your face or any of your body parts are near this and it's open, that the flower's open, there's definitely bees or wasps in there, and you don't want to get that close to them, believe me. My husband accidentally grabbed one time to take down a rack of bananas, and he got stung, so y'all don't do it. I can hear him buzzing around my head as we talk. As I talk. Full saw time. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Y'all, it'd probably be smart not to have these blocks sitting here. I did have some homemade fertilizer water I was making, so I elevated them on those blocks. But it's probably time for them to go because it's really easy to trip over stuff like that if you're not paying attention. You have your mind focused on other things. All right, y'all, that looks pretty good. Okay, this will conclude today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't be like me. Do not plant too many in a small area, and take those pups out consistently. You do not want to have multiple blooms on multiple trees in the same grouping. You don't want to do it. There's limited resources. It'll take forever for them to develop. Just don't do it. See y'all in the next video.